Hello. Hello. I am trying to get AWS certified, which is why I have here, training and certification. AWS Certified Solutions Architect Associate Exam Guide. And I'm using ChatGPT to help me out with it. I mean, you could probably see what it says, but what I did was just I literally copied this right here. But why isn't it highlighting? This right here, and I pasted this on ChatGPT and I said, explain to a child. And this is what it started, or what it said. Hi there. So imagine you have a really cool toy, but you don't want anyone else to play with it without your permission. That's kind of, why did I say kind of? That's kind of like how people would use Amazon Web Services, AWS, feel about their God damn it, yo! This is the second time I read it and I still messed it up. That's kind of that's kind of like how people who use AWS feel about their computer stuff. They don't want nobody playing with it without their permission. I literally improvised it, but that's what it says. They don't want just anyone to be able to use it, so they have to make it safe and secure. One of the ways they do that is by making sure that only the right people can use their computer stuff. They do this by using something called access control, which are kind of like secret passwords that only certain people know. That way, if someone tries to use their computer stuff without their permission, they won't be able to get in because they don't know the secret password. But sometimes people who use AWS have more than one account, which means they have to make sure that the right people can use their computer stuff across all their different accounts. That's where access controls and management across multiple accounts come in. It's like having a lot of different toys and making sure that only the right people can play with each one. So, to make sure that only the right people can use their computer stuff across other different accounts, people use AWS like people use use things. Oh my gosh, what the fuck? I messed it up again. So, to make sure that only the right people can use their computer stuff across all their different accounts, people use use things like AWS organizations. Okay, that's why I'm fucking that up because it doesn't make any sense. Which helps them manage all their different accounts. And AWS Identity and Access Management, which is IAM. Hi, my name is, which helps them control who can use what's in each account. Yeah, the grammar for fucking is so fucked up. They also use something called cross account access, which is like a special permission slip that lets us use their computer stuff across different accounts if need to. All these things help people who use AWS make sure that their computer stuff is safe, secure, and just like you, make sure that only the right people can play with your toys. Okay, so this is the second one, but god damn it. You know what? This is not what it's about, but I'm gonna go open another window. There you go. Yeah, this is me messing with the IM right here. But I'm not gonna go through that right now. It'll be in the second video. God darned crackers. Need some crackers. This is my Google now, because I wanted to ask a little more questions about. It was talking about blah blah services. Okay, yes, this is kind of access controls. So what is Amazon access controls? Excuse me. Damn it, I had to use one hand so I could hold it. What is? Let me put explain like a child. Explain to a child. I mean, I'm doing that because I'm tired and I'm not functioning all the way. Oh, god damn it. No. AWS, stop. To a child, what is AWS? This. There you go. Burp. Hi there. Access controls are like rules that help keep things safe. Imagine you have a toy box. Yo, the toys, because it's like a child. I guess I should say like a teenager or something. Hi there. Access controls are like rules that help. No, stop. Hi there. Access controls are like rules that help keep your things safe. Or keep things safe. Imagine you have a toy box and you only want your friends to be able to play with certain toys, but not all of them, because you got special fucking toys and you're like, fuck out of here. You can decide which toys your friends can play with and which ones they can't. They can play with all the broken ones, not the new ones. This is like access control in AWS. AWS is a place where people store information and run programs on computers that they don't have to keep at their own house. But if you got a slow laptop or a slow computer, it's going to be slow either way. But just like with your toys, people need to decide who can use certain things and who can't. Access controls to help people do this on AWS. For example, let's say someone has a computer program running on AWS that has a lot of important information in it. They only want certain people to be able to access that information, like their coworkers or boss. Access controls help make sure that only those people can see the information, and that only no one else can get to it. So, access control are like rules that help keep things safe in AWS. Just like how you decide who can play with your toys to keep them safe. So you cannot play with my fucking toys, 'cause my mom says so. Access controls. So is that what they call it? So is IAM and access control? I'm guessing it is. Fuck, I hate this one hand shit. Access control is ham, and that's what I get for fucking. What is it gonna say? I'm not sure what you mean by ham and access control. No, I was not trying to say ham. I am. Yes, Identity and Access Manager is an access control service provided by AWS. IAM allows users to control who can have access to resources, such as storage, compute, database services, and what actions they can perform on those resources. Damn, I think it was this long. Using IAM, AWS users can create, manage AWS users and groups. Assign permissions to those users and groups. Users are like the people, the users. The groups are a group of users or cliques or a group of people. And with those groups, you can set, I believe it's policies, yes, and set up policies that control to AWS resources. So the policies you can set if they could read, if they could only write or read and write. Well, actually, that would make no sense if they could only write. Because if you could only write and you can't read, then what's the point? uh, IAM allows you to specify which AWS services a user or group can access and what actions they can take on those services. So in summary, AWS, where am I getting AWS? So in summary, IAM is an access control service provided by AWS that allows users to manage access to AWS resources by creating and managing users and groups, signing permissions, and setting up policies. All right, there was something else that I wasn't too sure of. So that answered my question. Um, AWS organizations. AWS organizations. Here, explain this. Do I gotta put the child part two every time? I mean, why not? What is AWS organizations? Beep, 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 boop, 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 boop. There you go. I need some water because my throat is itchy. Ichio! Hi there. AWS organizations is like a big box that helps people organize other smaller boxes. Imagine if you had a lot of toy boxes, and you want to keep them all in one place. So why not just take the fucking all of them all the toys in the small boxes and put all the toys in and just all of the toys in the big box? But no, I mean you would just make a mess. But I guess you want smaller boxes to divide, all the different toys. If you got some GI Joes, I don't know who the hell plays with GI Joes now. Well, Dragon Ball Z, Bleach, Naruto, Pokemon. I guess yeah, it makes sense. Alright, where was I? Imagine you have a lot of toy boxes and you want to keep them all in one place so you can easily find them. You can put all the toy boxes inside a bigger box, which we'll call Super Box. She got some Super Box. Excuse me. Then you can label each one of the smaller toy boxes with different categories like Legos, dolls, or cars. AWS organizations works in a similar way. It's a big box. Didn't stop in the period. It's a big box that helps people organize smaller boxes or AWS accounts. Sounds like groups, but yeah, sounds like groups and management. AWS accounts is like a smaller container where people can store and run their computer programs and store the data. Okay, so it's not like I am because it's a smaller container because in AWS account it's like a small container where people can store computer programs because obviously you can't store computer programs in IAM because IAM is just for management, for managing users and groups and policies. And what the heck is the other one? Groups, users. I mean, the users which are in groups, and then you set the policies. Telling them like, hey, you can do. It's like the police. I can tell you what the hell to do. And I think it's resources, but resources I believe are assigned to. You can assign to the hell are they called? Damn it, I'm losing it. Alright, whatever. Once I get it, I'll go back to it if I get it. For example, if someone, a lot of a lot of AWS accounts for different parts of their company, they can put them all in one super box using AWS organizations. Then they can set policies for all of the accounts at once. But can't you just put all of the accounts in one group? You know, like making sure everyone uses the same security settings or for paying for all the accounts from the same budget. In summary, the AWS organization is like a big box that helps people organize their smaller boxes or AWS accounts and apply policies to them all. I feel like I'm gonna stop using this kid stuff because it's making me probably lose a lot of granular stuff. Let me see something. AWS organizations. So see what it says without putting the kid stuff. AWS organization is a service provided by AWS that allows users to manage multiple AWS accounts as a single entity. It provides a way to centrally manage policies across all of the accounts in an organization, making it easier to manage security, compliance, and costs. Okay, so for AWS organizations, users can create groups of AWS accounts called organization units, OUs, and apply policy to those OUs. These policies can control access to AWS services, set spending limits, and enforce security and compliance. I guess the difference is organizations and groups, because with AWS organizations, I mean, you could at spending limits and enforce security, which I'm guessing they're talking about like firewalls, which not firewalls. Well, I'm not sure specifically what they mean by security, compliance standards. Okay, I mean, there's obviously a lot of differences. AWS organizations, and it seems like this is for someone that it could also be used for people that have multiple accounts. All accounts, let's see, prices and manage policies across accounts and organizations, making it easier. With AWS organizations, users can create groups of AWS accounts called organization units and apply policies to those OUs. These policies can control AWS services, set spending limits, and enforce security compliance standards. AWS organizations also allow users to consolidate bills and costs. Yeah, the groups, you can't do this shit in groups. Management for multiple AWS accounts, making it easier to track and manage expenses. Users can set up a payment method for organization and allocate costs across multiple accounts, making it easier to understand, control spending. Overall, AWS organization provides a way for users to manage multiple AWS accounts more efficiently while maintaining control over security and compliance. Okay. I mean, that makes sense. And this was the second part of it, which I just went over the first part. This is the second part. But how long has it been? See, this is the bad thing about the screen record. You can't really tell how long is ring recording for. But I'm going to end it there. I'm not going to say, see you guys later, because I can't see you anyway. And so if you see me, you'll see me later. Which I still think, well, whatever. Well, regardless, have a great day, and hopefully you got something out of this. And you'll hear me next time, or you won't. Or you'll see me next time, or you won't. So deuce. AWS is deuce.